Emirates Festival of Literature brings the star power of authors, storytellers, entertainers, and entrepreneurs right here in Dubai. And my third time here at the Emirates Airline Festival of Literature. I'm here performing. I did a writing workshop earlier, and then tonight I'm doing a music and poetry workshop with Brent Shuttleworth, who happens to be one of the most brilliant musical geniuses on earth, who also happens to be my best friend since I was 13. So for me, that's something that my father taught me, is you have to have respect for the other creative people that are doing things out in the world, whether or not that is your art form. So read widely, experience and learn from all the great artists, even if that's not your genre. I think it's something that we can all learn from, which is something I think that's very also characteristic of Dubai being such a multicultural place. There's so many languages, there's so many religions, there's so many ethnicities, there's so many different lived experiences. I think the more we can learn from and respect and celebrate each other in all of our little differences, I think the more rich each of us has something to offer that can be distinctly us, but informed by the different people that might be around us.
I write poetry in this book here about that experience of being in two places at once. And when the Emirates Literary Festival asked me to come, I said, absolutely. We've been talking about that a lot on the panels in the last couple of days. I just tell stories. I tell these like little images of stories, a story about my grandmother or my aunt, or about what it was like to live on the Caspian. And it's a way in of kind of telling my history and also the complexity of being in two places at once, or maybe even three places at once. So I try and tell tiny little stories with the hope that each poem together makes a narrative that someone else will kind of piece together for themselves. Think of it as like a photograph album. Each poem is a picture, and then together they build a kind of story.
Delve deep into what you're curious about. So I love nature. I think for me, nature is such an important part of my artwork. So I reference that a lot in everything that I draw and the textures that I create. And so whatever they're interested in, just to sort of, give themselves time to experiment, to innovate, to try different things, to figure out their own story as well, and to find what's personal to them and hope that connects with other people.
I think I've reflected on the fact that it's something that was said quite recently, that the Arab world, it lives in a physical world, but it also lives in its language. And to a sense, it's true of all peoples. But there's something about the Arabic language that I've always sensed, that it's a very, very strong glue. And whatever the politics does, however disparate people are politically, there's this strong sense of culture, of language, of identity, which connects somebody like you here in the Gulf to somebody from Morocco. And that's a huge swathe of land. So, as a sort of cultural marker, as a glue of identity, a cement of civilization, if you like, to be a bit poetic, there's nothing stronger than language. Well, it's wonderful because I come here and I meet old friends. The poet Nouri al-Jarrah, the philosopher Ahmed al-Barqawi, and I've known them for years. And Professor Al-Hawsani, she's a new friend. She took part in our session today. We were talking about travel literature and so on. But then, you meet new people, and I'm so pleased to see lots of young people here as well. And, usually an author comes to things like this and they sign their books. But, people have been giving me their books and signing them, so I'm going away with gifts and new friends.
Here at Emirates LitFest 2026 in the heart of Dubai, connecting people from the poets, authors, and entrepreneurs, all telling us their stories and their journeys right here on DXB Today.